ever said something commenting on generational gaps, maybe in the workplaces, maybe in different teams? Sometimes it might be a 20 or 30 year age gap or more. Some see differences where others see difficulties. Some might see the challenge, others see opportunity to connect and learn. Sometimes you might miss somebody that is of your age bracket in the workplace as well, maybe even for families and beyond as well. And as we hear about growing levels of loneliness, and how do we connect with those who do or don't share our age stage? Psychology consultant and author Dr. Jo Lukens is with me now. Good morning.
Good morning, Susan.
In age at work, belonging across generations, what do people miss when they maybe don't have a colleague at a similar life stage to them?
Yeah, and I think it's a good question that you've asked there, Susan, particularly around the life stage, because it's often not the age itself, but it's about that, do I feel understood? And as humans, we do have these inherent biases where we notice people who are similar to us, we become drawn to them, we feel like they understand us better. So it can be challenging for us if in your working environment, if you feel that you don't have a peer that is of a similar generational age as yourself.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, oh, there's somebody of a similar age to me and they're clicking the same box on all of those forms. It's being just genuinely understood without a lot of explanation.
Yeah, it is. It's like age is a bit of a shorthand for us. We know that if we're similar age, then we've probably shared similar life milestones. People who went through World War II don't need to explain that to each other. In future years, our youth who went through COVID in their studying years won't have to explain that to each other, but the next generation coming through who didn't live through that won't have that understanding. So we know the conversations feel a little more real when we've got that shared experience with each other.
Yeah, that's so true. Oftentimes in the workplace, there might be comments or concerns about different generations and what they bring to the workplace. Usually it does come through in a negative light, but what strengths do our younger colleagues bring that someone our own age might not?
Yes, so I think what people will often talk about when you talk about the younger generation, and look, it is really the job of every generation to be slightly annoyed at the next one coming through. So it's a very common pattern that we see. And you've got to be careful, don't you? Because obviously being part of a generation doesn't mean, of course, we're all the same. We're very different, but we have those common traits, those common experiences. So it's not unusual if our younger colleagues bring that freshness of energy, new skills, new ways of looking at the world, you know, and if you're in a workplace that's a little bit vulnerable to, oh no, that's the way we've always done it, maybe it sometimes is our younger colleagues who can look at it from a slightly different angle and offer us a different view or opinion as to how things can be done.
Yeah. I think all generations at some point go, oh, they complain about each other, so we're kind of all in it. But what about older or same stage colleagues tend to offer that younger ones can't perhaps easily replace?
Yeah, so often it'll be that wisdom, won't it? It's the having been through some of these experiences before and being able to share some of those things, and particularly when it's going through change. Lots of organisations say that they're on the fifth or the sixth iteration of a particular change, and organisations centralise and decentralise and all of those sorts of things. So if you've got someone who's had more experience and by default are probably older in the workplace, they can offer some of those views to the young ones, and I think it's important that we recognise the wisdom that comes with employees who have more experience and by default might be older as well.
And if you are the only one of a particular age group, whether that is younger or older or wherever you are in the age stages, it can perhaps even increase the feeling of loneliness, perhaps.
It can, because I think as humans what we try to seek out is people who understand us. So if you've had experiences or if you're feeling like you're constantly having to almost translate your worries or your concerns, or maybe you just have stopped even doing that anymore, that extra emotional work can really leave you feeling quite separate, even if you're in a busy office. So I guess it highlights that concept we often talk about are you alone, which means are you by yourself, or are you feeling lonely in a workplace? So it's an important consideration for us to reflect on, either for ourselves or for our colleagues who might be going through something like that.
So let's think about then what we can do. What practical steps could we take this week to feel perhaps less alone in an age-diverse workplace?
Yeah, so I think what you can do is maybe stop to find out some of the experiences of others, depending on what they are and aren't prepared to share in terms of a personal circumstance, but sharing aspects of your life, and it might be you might be a parent, or you might be in a particular career stage, or whatever that might be, but finding the common ground with others that we work with gives that shared understanding, and that can really help us to feel like we have someone who gets us, which is that common expression, and that can be something that can be really helpful.
Dr. Jo, thank you very much for your time today.
Good to speak with you, Susan.
Lots to think about. Thank you very much. That's psychology consultant and author, Dr. Jo Lukens.